Welcome everybody to my kitchen today. Whenever you are watching this, perhaps you're even watching on a replay, I'd love to know if you are watching. Give me a thumbs up, and this actually helps spread this little recipe around on the internet. So today you will be surprised at this little number that we are going to make together. It is an English soup that is based on an Indian recipe. It's called Mulligatawny soup, and I have made it before, but I wanted to share it with you again, seeing as I mentioned it is soup week, and obviously the most popular soup is pumpkin soup, and I didn't want to have something that perhaps you have made before. This is a low-cost, budget-friendly recipe, and it is vegan as well for those of you that follow vegan recipes. Just eliminate the sour cream at the end, which is the garnish. But we'll be making this dish together, and you will see how super simple it is. And it does feed 6 people. It is from the collection, the British Isles on a Plate. So if you are looking for this on Cookidoo, please make sure you have a look that your filters are correct. Otherwise, if they are automatically defaulted to Australia, you won't be able to find this recipe. So as I said, Mulligatawny soup, Igatawny. I know it sounds really weird, but trust me, it tastes good. So what we'll do is start off with our first set of ingredients that we will process. So the first is 3 garlic cloves. So I've got 3 of those. Mine are pretty big, and I honestly don't mind. It means it gives it a lot more of a flavor boost. So adjust it accordingly. If you are on a low FODMAP diet, I would eliminate these ingredients, so obviously onions as well. And you can add in an ingredient called asafoetida. So if you're not sure about that, just drop a comment in the section below and let me know if you need some help about that. So we're going to add that in. I'll go through the rest of this. It's 30 grams also of olive oil. So I'm just going to pour that in. It's about 2 tablespoons. And then the next ingredient is 150 grams of onions, which have been quartered. I processed those ahead of time, so I've just popped those in. And then 150 grams of carrots. A little tip for you is your little silver dial on the right hand side, roughly that size is what you should be chopping your ingredients. So something that's hard like a carrot, or the next ingredient, which is your sweet potato. So 150 of the carrots, and then 150 of your sweet potatoes. So just cut those into pieces as well. And then we're going to process these. So that will be 4 seconds on speed fire. Now scrape down those sides, and we're going to cook that for 5 seconds. I'll actually show you. This is the result of those couple of seconds. So if you are worried about prep time, this is a very quick soup. It does say 35 minutes is the total time. So let's get this cooking. This will be for 5 minutes at 120 degrees Celsius. And that is speed number 1 on the normal rotation, not reverse. So while we have these couple of moments, while the soup or these initial ingredients are cooking, I would love to find out from you, what is your family's favorite soup? And I'm super keen to hear all these variations. It is the right time of year to start making soup. It is cooling down significantly. And to be honest, I have to confess that Thermomix makes a mean soup. This little machine is so handy to have. Instead of doing the old-fashioned way of making soups, there's 2 ways. You could start your ingredients in the bottom of the pan, obviously with some olive oil, browning those ingredients and then adding in your liquids, or the old way like your grandmother used to make it, which was put everything in the pot and just let it cook like that, and when whatever the biggest piece of vegetable was that was soft, it meant then that your soup was ready. So this is such a great helper in the kitchen. The ones that I can think of off the top of my head when it comes to favorite soups in our house, one is the Mulligatawny soup. It is absolutely delicious. And the pumpkin soup we actually do with a little bit of a twist, which is the Asian style one. So adding in your garlic and your ginger and even a little bit of chili as well. So if you're not sure about that recipe, have a look. It will be in your traditional cookbook that comes with your Thermomix, and it will give you in the notes section a portion there that will tell you the alternative. So that is definitely a favorite. Another one that brings back some very special memories for me is green pea and ham soup. My family love that one as well. So let me know in the comment section below, what is your favorite family soup? I am super keen to hear. Alright, so there's a couple of more moments on this recipe cooking off the initial part of these ingredients. So what I'm going to do is walk you through the next portion of the recipe and get those things ready for you to see. Now, it does call for dessert apples. If I were you, I would just use whatever apples you have. I would most probably be a little bit cautious about the green Granny Smith apple, because that obviously will have a little bit more tartness and will change the flavor of your soup. So I have just used the pink apples. I can't remember what the name is, but that is what I'm using today. And then also you will notice I've gone ahead and I have prepared the other ingredient, which is split peas, or the split lentils, I should say. It does give you an alternative. If you don't happen to have this in your pantry ready to go, you can substitute for the same weight in rice. So like I say, this is really a cost-effective recipe to have on hand and have in your repertoire to make. The reason why I do enjoy utilizing these instead of the rice is because this is a boost of protein, and I love that fact. It means I can, inverted commas, hide the protein, although my family do enjoy these. So we have these on a regular basis, at least twice a week. So this is a great, it was 110 grams worth of your split red lentils. So there are also a couple of flavorants. So we've got your curry powder. And by the way, speaking of curry powder, you don't have to purchase the one at the store. You can actually make your own version on Cookidoo. If you have a look in Cookidoo, type in the search bar curry powder, and it will give you the recipe on how to make that for yourself. If you want to, you can halve that recipe if you don't use curry powder as often, but in our family, I can never keep up with it, and it is really a great addition to some mayonnaise if you've got some shredded chicken as well as some eggs. So curried mayonnaise can go with any of those ingredients for your sandwiches. So what we'll do is continue with the recipe. As I mentioned, 210 grams worth of apples. All I did was just chop them in 3. I'm just going to tear this. All right, there we go. So 210, and then we're going to actually add in those flavors. I'm going to just pull over the curry powder. So the curry powder is 2 teaspoons of that. You can adjust how much you actually want to have. So if it's heat, if your family enjoy a bit of spice, then obviously you can add the heat spoons. Next ingredient is 1 teaspoon of cumin. So same there, if you want a little bit of spice, just keep that small. and then also half of a teaspoon of paprika. The next ingredient is cinnamon, so half a teaspoon of your ground cinnamon. Next, and I've just realized I didn't pull it out the pantry, is half a teaspoon of turmeric, so I'll be back. Alright, half a teaspoon of ground turmeric. Now this will give it color and flavor. Next is to add your lid back on. And this will now cook for 2 minutes on 100 degrees Celsius, and it's 0.5 is the speed. What you will have to also then after this add in are those other extras, the protein, so those lentils, and then it does call for veggie stock, but I usually just use, in other words, store-bought version. I just use water, and then I will use my vegetable paste. Now, what I do want to let you know is it depends on you how much you actually want to use. So for example, I usually will tell customers 500 mils of water would ask for 1 teaspoon worth of your stock paste. But because my family love their things quite salty, for us, for my family, it's going to be 900 grams worth of water, and I will use a big spoon like this. You can always go ahead and adjust your saltiness at the end of the meal. If you need to add a little bit extra, you can go ahead and add in some more of the paste closer to the end of that, or otherwise just your plain salt. It does also ask for some cracked black pepper, so I have that here as well. I'm just hearing some noises happening. I'm curious to see what's going on. It's the apples bubbling around and moving. Never mind, they're safe, because what happens is everything will cook down and those apples disintegrate and make it beautifully sweet. If I can recommend one recipe when it comes to soup, perhaps that you haven't tried before, this is it. It's really that delicious. So a couple more seconds. I'm also going to bring over some tomato paste, and we will carry on with this. Alright, now 15 grams worth of your tomato puree or your tomato paste. So this is the one I usually use from Aldi. So just tear that, and it should be, oh, I put a little bit extra, but that's okay, I'm fine with that. Alright, next ingredient is 100 grams, not 110, of your split lentils, so we'll put that in. It smells so good. I wish there was smell-o-vision. It's really delicious. Alright. I'm looking forward to dinner this evening tremendously. Alright, now 900 grams worth of your vegetable stock. But as I said, just pop in your water. This does feed 6 and is a great option for if you want to bulk cook ahead and store it. Very, very good. Alright, and then I'm going to now add in my stock paste as well. Now, the next portion or part of the recipe is to cook this now for 20 minutes on 100 degrees Celsius. And I just want to double check, sorry. I was ahead of myself there. 20 minutes, 100 degrees Celsius, and speed number 1. All right, so once that has cooked for the 20 minutes, you can walk away and do something else in the meantime while it is stirring for you. And then it does say to come back when it's finished and add in some extra salt, pepper, so adjust your flavoring, your seasoning. And then when you're ready to serve that up, you can put a dollop of some sour cream. It does recommend that for your serving, and then whatever you love to have with your soup, so naan bread or crusty sourdough perhaps, or some soft white bread, whatever your preference is. If you're a GF, there is a great recipe for chia and pepita loaf, please go ahead and try that recipe if you are gluten-free. So that is today's recipe, and I do hope this has helped you see another option for soups when it comes to your kitchen and taste buds for your family. Try something new. Perhaps they will give you a thumbs up and enjoy it at the dinner table. Please let me know if there's any way that I can help you with your Thermomix and on your Thermomix journey. And if there are any people that are interested in the current specials, just get in touch with me, and I'll be more than happy to walk you through that process. So I hope you have a fantastic day, what's left of it. I am B from Thermitucker, signing off. Take care.